I'm not going to demand that you stop eating and pay attention. Just keep going. So I just really want to say a few words. You know, the history of the Fergus Falls Journal is not just that of a small town newspaper, but its story, its history really embodies the history of America itself. Born in New York, A.J. Underwood was only 4 years old when his family, seeking better opportunities, moved to Western Reserve in northeastern Ohio. It was there that young A.J. learned the printer's trade, and in 1854, A.J. then went to Minnesota Territory, and before it became a state. He enlisted in the Civil War, was wounded in the Battle of Antietam, which remains the single bloodiest day in American military history, with nearly 23,000 killed or wounded. Well, having survived the war, Underwood came back to Minnesota to work in the newspaper business, and after serving a term in the state legislature representing Hennepin County, he was recruited by George B. Wright to seek his fortune in the fledgling community of Fergus Falls, Wright's self-proclaimed coming city of the Northwest. As the first major investor in early Fergus Falls, Wright again understood that a newspaper was a critical building block for a new community. A locally owned newspaper was the primary form of communication for citizens, businesses, and as a recruiting tool for people seeking to move to a new community like Fergus Falls. A.J. Underwood did not disappoint George B. Wright as he first started publishing a weekly paper from his home on Lincoln Avenue. It was a modest beginning, as he wrote in the very first issue. We do not anticipate a long list of subscribers, but hope our readers will increase in number and that the journal will be looked upon as a welcome weekly visitor. We come to our new home and new work in the most confident expectation of a magnificent future for the region. Sure enough, the paper and the community grew to the point that in 1883, the Journal began publishing a daily newspaper in 1883 out of their brand new building on Mill Street, which is the lot now occupied by American Federal Bank. Interestingly, the press was operated by water power via a wire rope from Wright's dam. At the time, the Journal was thought to be the only newspaper in Minnesota run by water power. So while the Journal established itself as the community's primary newspaper, it was by no means a monopoly. Over the years, competing newspapers, including the Fergus Falls Advocate, the Daily Telegram, the Weekly Democrat, the Globe, Free Press, Wheelock's Weekly, and the Norwegian language newspaper, the Ugeblad, competed with the Journal. But Fergus Falls Journal survived, keeping readers abreast on national and international news, and most importantly, local news. That's what distinguished the Journal from the other papers, was the local news. Yes, it had an active wire service, but they also had a cadre of correspondents throughout Otter County, so readers could keep up with news from London, Washington, D.C., and Carlisle. Now, for the Otter County Historical Society, the Fergus Falls Journal has been our single most important resource. Not a day goes by when staff or researchers are not pouring through the Journal, searching for an obituary or some other piece of historical information. Congratulations, Fergus Falls Journal, on your 150th anniversary.
Excellent, thank you, Chris. What a rich history. Wow. All right, so one of the primary functions of the journal is not only writing about the news and stories of the town, but it's also about helping businesses promote themselves, okay? And this is a huge thing for us. We work very closely with the local Chamber of Commerce on many different promotions. And so here to talk about a little bit of that is our Chamber President, Lisa Workman.